A good Wednesday morning, everyone. Time for a First Alert forecast update as we settle into what will be an active day tomorrow. Not today. We have a day to prepare. It's a day to relax. Thank you again for taking a check of this live stream as we settle on in. Rain, shower, and storm potential on the way. We're going to talk about it. We'll get back to this in just a second. Again, want to welcome you on in here. I am WIS First Alert meteorologist Tony Schifferoli. Overall, we're going to be seeing more of this activity, all working to build up today. Between yesterday and today, there's still important things going on in the atmosphere overall for a weather pattern, because for severe weather to happen, you need to have the ingredients for that severe weather. And we're starting to see some of that try to build in today, spilling out over to tomorrow morning when we actually see more moisture potential, rain rolling in. We're going to time all this out again, so please stick along with this live stream if you really need to know more of this hour by hour sense, what at least we're seeing in the short term and how it's all going to play out, not just to a busy weather morning tomorrow, but later into the week. So this has all been something that we've been talking about as the week has gone on. Earlier into this week, more long-range models were pushing this activity into the afternoon, but that doesn't look to be the case as much now. It looks to be starting earlier tomorrow, at least in terms of where we can see some widespread rain. The only positive really that comes with that, because it could start to make, a very tough morning commute for a lot of folks, it gives us the positivity of a lesser severe risk later. So it's going to help to knock back the really strong storms, knock back tornado chances. So that's all going to be a good thing with some of this rain arriving early. But either way, got to watch out for some heavier downpours now earlier with this time frame jump. And still gusty winds that could be a problem, a couple storms later into the day, but more so with this morning activity. So obviously nothing going on with this rain potential now as we're working on to that First Alert weather day status. It's going to be how everything will build and build getting on into tomorrow morning. So very dark and early, getting into the overnight period, we'll start to pick up some initial showers, but everything kind of peaks as we get closer to 6, 7, even 8 a.m. So going into a lot of the time frame when kids are trying to get to class and parents are getting kids into school, folks are getting out to their work day, it is going to be a busy morning with the timing of this rain, as long as everything goes as projected now with the way that this has been moving up. And typically when you're 24 hours or less from that time frame, you're getting a good bit of accuracy. A lot more of these short range models are now starting to come together. And of course, just even eyeballing this system, watching it in real time, that time frame seems to be generally good just from a physics standpoint. As we go into the day, we are going to see warmth, mugginess, still try to build up for this one. Some little hazy breaks of sun. We could try to see through the cloud layer today, get us to a high near 80. Overnight lows, listen to this, mid-60s. It will be a very mild start to tomorrow, and that's all going to help to play a factor just to some instability. We hold on to this warm and damp air mass. We see this cold front that's approaching us into Thursday, and it's going to be aiding to what can be an active morning. It's all going to be with those ingredients in play before, of course, those ingredients and the cold front wipe everything away and we get back to sunny conditions for Friday, but winds will not die down just yet. So let's go through 3 very different days. Today we start out with a couple of early showers, clouds around, but things pretty calm. That wind out of the south not ramping up too much yet. It will later into the day. And here's the thing. As it does that, we start to see this wind pattern switch. We're going to start to see our cloud layer break up at different levels of the atmosphere, so we could actually get some afternoon breaks of sun, especially to close out the day. Okay, pretty nice with that high near 80. Could easily enjoy some outdoor activity today into the afternoon. Soak up a bit of that sun as it tries to fight back. Now overnight, everything completely changes. Clouds roll in, moisture pushes up from the south. Everything that's been continuing with this southerly wind, everything now pushing up out of the Gulf of Mexico, more of this massive rain along with an area of low pressure. It's finally finding us. So here we go. Very early, 5, 6 in the morning. We have some good coverage of this rain, some downpours around. Everything working to fall apart with the forecast in terms of how we've been trying to stay dry. Now this is going to give us some good needed rain overall for the rest of the week, because dryness will find us after this, but it's going to be an active morning, dark and early going towards 8, 9 o'clock. We're still not losing this potential for the rain or the storms. It's all going to be around here and still continuing to get flared up by this cold front that's approaching. It's going to keep our atmosphere unstable. everything as this cold front approaches wants to send more of this warmth, more moisture higher up into the atmosphere. And what goes up must come down. It comes back as rain. It comes back as storms. So we focus on forward into the morning hours here. And by the time we get to lunchtime, we could honestly see things drying up a bit. But I just want to keep making this point. Even though we're getting to the afternoon and we're likely seeing more of our rain threat end at this point, we could still see on the tail edge of this system and the front a couple stray showers and storms, a couple areas where we could get a little bit of convection later in the day. So we're not 100% done with storm chances. We're mainly done with it, but we could still see a couple as this front actually makes a push through. So got to watch out for that even into the afternoon, despite most of the rain moving on. Friday, just going to be a very gusty day. We could see some wind still into the afternoon, some wind gusts into the 30s. So watch out for that as we push past 30 miles an hour again. But at least it's with a dry day, and we'll have a lot of blue skies for that Friday. So the wind is just something to be a factor, something to be mindful of. But it's going to be a very easy weather day as long as you don't let that wind get you down, or your trash can doesn't get blown away or something such as that, or an important piece of paper or document you don't let out of your hands. Anything as we see those winds continue. I just want you to make sure, even though Friday is beautiful, it's going to be a very gusty day. Now, in terms of the storms, that is all going to be embedded into Thursday. We see this cold front coming through. It's going to be bumping into all of these temperatures, the warmth, the moisture that have built up to us out of the south, and making South Carolina a pretty active weather situation for tomorrow morning. Now, this is also going to be a big factor because over towards Augusta, they have the Masters starting and going on. But one positive thing here is they're not really teeing off, starting the first round tomorrow until 8, 9 a.m. So from a golfing sense, not too shabby, because a lot of this system will already be settled into the Midlands, pushing towards the east. So they'll actually be looking pretty good. They might not have to delay things too long tomorrow as we see this system pass on through the region. Now, one more reminder, early afternoon tomorrow, could still see a couple of stray showers and storms. Friday, still got to deal with those winds, but this is going to be a weekend where you could truly enjoy, like it is going to be with these rising temperatures, all this sunshine. Got the Gamecocks parade on Sunday, that's 2 p.m. right on Main Street. So, there's a lot of fun to be had. And that's just, again, one of a handful of events going on around the region towards this weekend. And I'm loving that I can bring sunshine to you guys after what will be, yes, still an active early Thursday. But we got a lot of outdoor conditions to look forward to in a positive sense. So thank you so much for settling in, listening to your First Alert Forecast update today. Truly appreciate you being here on this live stream, or of course if you tune in early on Sunrise. Always love to give you the forecast, actually on TV as well. But I understand a lot of people got to be on the go. You can always access more information on WYSTV.com. Or, of course, stay on this live stream. Coming up in just a little bit, we got What's New This Morning, continuing to give you news updates, whether it be a new national or local story, just working to keep you aware of what is going on, of course, in your home area. That is always the goal, along with what I do personally, and that is keeping you weather aware, first alerting you into this week. Thanks again for listening. Have a great rest of your day, and be weather aware tomorrow. Of course, have updates on how storms are progressing as we get into Thursday.